everyone, James Labrie from Dream Theater, and you're listening to or watching the podcast Talking into Infinity with JT and Brian. Enjoy this. These guys are extremely informative. I love their dialogue. I love their interpretation of the songs, who and what we are, what we were going after. They're very accurate in their interpretations and descriptions, and I just think this is a great show, and these guys are doing a stand-up stellar job. So once again, enjoy Talking into Infinity with JT and Brian.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Talking into Infinity, a Dream Theater-centric podcast. I am your host, John. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and talkingintoinfinity.com. We are live at those locations every other Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have not done so already and you are logged in on YouTube, please remember to click the like button, click the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time we go live. Without further ado, let's bring on my esteemed co-host and someone who did something really, really sweet for me last week, and we're going to talk about that right off the rip. He is my amazing, amazing friend, Mr. Brian Hendrickson. What's up, man? How you doing?
Have you recovered from your massive birthday celebration that started what? It started like Wednesday night or something, didn't it? Did you start early or no? Because you had your Star Wars podcast right last Wednesday.
Yeah. We had the Nerf Herder Council on Wednesday, which was the night before my actual birthday. For those who don't know, I turned 50 last Thursday, so a week ago tonight I turned 50. So that's why we're talking about this. And actually, that's why we weren't on. that's why we changed our schedule. We wanted to get back on the every 2 week schedule because I do the Nerf Herder 1 week and Talking into Infinity the next. And I would have had both podcasts last week, and I really didn't feel like podcasting on my 50th birthday. So, we did the Nerf Herder Council on Wednesday, and we basically did because I do that with my brother. It was just kind of like a brothers hangout kind of episode. It was talking about our life and like how Star Wars has really made us the best friends that we are, which is kind of like interesting, but. Yeah, I did that, and then Thursday night was just went out to dinner with the family. I really didn't want to do anything huge. My wife wanted to do this big blown out thing. My brother AJ wanted to do this big blown out thing, and I was like, dude, I just kind of want to hang. So, I went out to a sports bar. I picked a sports bar we'd never been to, and got my mom and my two brothers together, my wife Stephanie, and my buddy Nick, who is an incredible guitar player, just one of the most amazing guitar players you ever hear. He's again one of my another one of my best buddies, and he has the same birthday, and he lived like 2 minutes from that bar, so we met up. He came out, we all had dinner and drinks and stuff, and yeah, cool. And then but yeah, let's just say that I was never like hammered. I was buzzed, but I had been drinking so much that like by Sunday, I I felt fine all night. Saturday, went to bed, everything's fine. Sunday was hell, to the point where like in my life, I think I've thrown up from drinking 3 times, maybe 4. Well, if it was 3, now it's 4. If it was 4, now it's 5. And it was like a full 2 days, and I also got a little bit sick from my grandson, so it was shit, man. So but as you know, Kale McLeish is in the chat. Kale, you need to stick around because we're going to talk about you right after this. But yeah, so it was awesome, dude. I had a blast, and as I mentioned, in the intro, I have to thank you because like the main get together of my birthday was about 15 of my friends and family getting together at Top Golf up the street, about 15 minutes away from where I live. And you came out and you made the time to come out, and I was so thrilled to see you, and like I told you that night, probably, a million times, but I really appreciate you coming out, because I'm sure Akron is not very close to Chesterland. So yeah, you came out, and the gift you gave me was just holy shit, man. So everyone knows I'm a huge Star Wars guy. Well, you had the story of Star Wars Episode 4 on vinyl, like an original, like from back in the 70s type thing.
Yep.
And you gave it to me, and you're like, yeah, it's just sitting there collecting dust. And I'm going, are you shitting me right now? And to the point, my wife is so impressed by it. She's like, I want to display that in the bedroom.
Wow.
And the only thing that's in our bedroom is, fair warning, a Dolly Parton record, because she's like the biggest Dolly fan, and now she wants to put Star Wars up there with it. The one that you gave me.
Funny.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if I showed it to you before or not. I might have, but I remember, I think it was last year. I had gotten your address from AJ. Was it last year I went on your pod and said happy birthday?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought about it, and then I was like, how old is he? He's like 49. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit on this until 50. And I almost kind of forgot about it. And then when I heard about the party, I was like, shit, I got to give this to him, and this will be better because I don't have to mail it or whatever. So
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of distinctly remember that Christmas getting that, and I was like, hey, what is this? Because as a kid, you don't really know anything. I'm like, well, it's like the movie, but it's on a record. And I'm like, well, is it just like the music? But it's basically isn't it like Alec Guinness kind of just telling the Star Wars story on there?
Yeah.
Is he the narrator? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway. So it was played a few times down in the basement, but more than a few, but probably no time after like 1979 or whatever, I probably, started out growing that, listening to hard rock music and stuff,
Look at Doug McCauley. I can't sit on anything that long, man. Maybe a toilet.
Right.
No, but dude, yeah, that I knew exactly what it was when I pulled it out of the packaging that you gave me. Yeah. And by the way, awesome re-gift of a Christmas card someone else had given you years ago. That was the birthday card Brian gave me. He for some reason he saves cards other people give him, and he sits on them for a while, and well, not literally Doug, and then he just re-gifts them as the birthday. That is epic. So that was great. But yeah, dude, I mean, I knew exactly what it was. I was like, are you serious? So yeah. I mean, and I appreciate the fact that you knew exactly how much it would mean to me, and that I knew exactly what it would be. And
well, to go back real quick on the card thing, it was funny because Jill's like, you got to get on a real card. You got to get. I'm like, this is John.
Exactly.
He's gonna expect something like a real card will be really dumb. This is and especially because it was, just to add to the story, it was a coworker we both used to work with, so yep. You knew who it was from, I mean, it would have been funny if it was like something old from, one of my aunts or grandma or something, but this was and then tell him about the other card you got from your buddy.
Oh, yeah. So
that was great.
So a couple of other people that were there were my best friends, Matt and Andy Dixon. And for those who don't know, I'm 50 as I just said, but for those who don't know, I met my best friend Andy in kindergarten when I was 5, and his younger brother is Matt, and he was 3. So I literally have been best friends with those guys for 45 years. I grew up at their house as well as my own, to the point where when my wife and I got married, at the parents' table was my parents, Stephanie's parents, and Matt and Andy's parents. That's how close we are. So I've known them forever. And Matt bought me a bottle of Jägermeister, a little bottle. And it had a picture of Subway ordering on the back, which is a throwback to when he was in college. God, this is, it would have been 28 years ago now at this point, or some shit like that. And we were so drunk. We bought the one bottle of Jaeger, but it's the tall one. And it was just the two of us, and we cashed it in one night and went and crashed a couple college parties, to the point where we went to order Subway that was open 24/7. He went to Ohio Northern here in Ohio. And we were so drunk, we couldn't even tell him what we wanted to order. We walked up and they were like, what do you want? 6-inch or foot long? And I was like, like foot long. And they're like, what meat? And I'm pointing, and I was like, brown. And they went roast beef. I'm like, So it's been like a legendary story. So he bought me a bottle of Jaeger and put the Subway wrap on it, which was funny. But the card was a card he'd been holding on to for, let me think. He was 16, so I would have been 18.
I thought it said 8th grade or something on it though.
Yeah, 30. Yeah, it was. Yeah, because he was. Yeah, we were going into 8th grade or something. But yeah, it was what I got him for his. I think it was his. It was his 16th birthday because or maybe it was since 8th grade. I got to remember. Anyway, we've been together.
8th grade at the bottom.
But I think that was an inside some sort of joke we had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it might have been that whatever. It was either 32 years or like 38, 39. But he had held on to this card and he regifted me that card. Am I back? How the hell did I freeze up? I think it's on your end, Brian. Oh, don't do this tonight. All right, we're back. There we go.
Are we there?
That's great. Yeah. Okay. Son of a bitch. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm changing internet stuff pretty soon. So sorry for the delay. But yeah, so it was a card from when we were super young. The card's at the minimum 32 years old. And he regifted it to me. And it was, something I had written like God all those years ago. And at this point, it might have been like 35, 38 years ago. So
that's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just an incredible day. And, a bunch of my buddies that I go out for Taco Tuesday with once a month, they bought me a Lionel train, but it was the Star Wars Lionel train. And I got to shout them out because I was thinking, okay, it's like, it was branded and maybe it was like, $200 or something, the 6 of them put in a few. No, I looked it up. It's like a $600 train. So they each God. Like, yeah, I mean, like the things that people did were just completely over the top. And I just appreciate everything so freaking much. It's like, and you, man, like I said, like you making the time and coming out. And I can't thank you guys enough. And man, I got so many messages and calls and things like that. And it's just, Kale, we'll talk about him here in a second. It was awesome. So I wanted to thank you so very much, man, for making the time to come out and hang out with me for my birthday, dude. It means so much to me.
Yeah, man, that was a total blast. And I have screenshots that I beat you in golf twice, I think, on the simulator. The only time I ever beat you in golf. So.
That damn Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So we got to talk about Kale McLeish because I'm going to chew him out for something, and then we're going to absolutely wrap our Dream Theater fan arms around him and give him the biggest hug possible.
Oh, Lord.
So, number one, we love Kale, okay? And as we know, and Kale, correct me in the chat here, but he just got to see Dream Theater in February, a few weeks ago. God, you saw him twice in a couple days, Kale, and then, if I remember, it was like over 10 years or something since he had seen him the last time. And if I remember right, he had never seen him with Portnoy. So it was also his first time with Portnoy. And as we talked about on the show, we talked about this for years, like Kale just complaining they don't come to Australia, yada, yada. So he finally gets to see him. He gets, does the VIP thing. He just completely lives it up. And again, first time in over like a decade or something, gets to see him. So I think it's like a week after those shows happen, or a week and a half, Dream Theater posts on their Facebook page about some shows in, I want to say like Bangkok or something, or one of the Southeast Asia countries. I forget where they were. Seoul, Korea, maybe, or something. And they say, oh man, they're talking about the shows, how excited they are. And you know how when you're friends with somebody and like you're both members of like a page, when you're scrolling through Facebook and a post from that page comes up, the first comment in the preview window will be a comment from the person you're friends with, right?
Yep.
So they post about this thing and they say, yeah, like 3 shows. rotating set list. Every set list is different. So what's the comment that comes up as the preview is Kale. Well, you could have done that in Australia. I'm like, oh. All right, so Kale said 12th and 14th, 9 years. It was 9 years since he had seen Dream Theater. Okay, thank you, Kale. So it'd been 9 years since he'd seen them. He's been throwing a fit publicly on their pages, Portnoy's pages, whatever. I can't say throwing a fit, but he does make a comment. When are you coming to Australia? When are you coming to Australia? Nagging him and stuff. He finally gets his shows, and the first thing he does is bitch about the set list on another Dream Theater post. So I was like, and I hit him up. I'm like, Kale, what the hell are you doing, dude? Like, what the hell, man? Like, just be happy with what you got. So that's the busting on Kale part. Now we all need to just give Kale a giant hug. So I feel so bad for him. And Kale, I'm sorry that I am. All right, he's correcting me, by the way, before I get to this. He says it wasn't Dream Theater post. It was Portnoy posting. It was the Korean shows. And I gave him shit because Portnoy's like, oh, now we can shuffle. And I know at least 10 in VIP had seen multiple shows. Okay, so you see, Kale, you're not helping yourself. You're bitching. You hadn't seen him in almost a decade, and you're already bitching. Just, be grateful for what you have. Because, Kale, now we're all going to feel bad for you for what you do not have. So Kale did the VIP. He bought all kinds of merch. He got signatures and all this kind of stuff. I think, Kale, and Kale, if I'm overstepping my bounds, let me know. But I feel so bad for you on this. I think he told me it was like over $400 worth of stuff. And he was so excited at the show, he left it under his chair.
Oh, man.
And he realized what had happened and went back in, and somebody had stolen it all. So he waited almost a decade. He got all this great custom Dream Theater stuff.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some cheap piece of fucking shit stole the whole lot of it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I was like, when he told me, I was like, you can't be serious. Like, are you... I can't even begin to tell you how bad I felt for him on that. I was like, dude, seriously? Like, so yeah, huge hug to poor Kale, man.
So he went back that night before he got home, or was it?
Yeah.
Like they did,
and Kale, you can correct me on that if I'm wrong, but yeah. Okay. So he said they got my Black Clouds and Silver Linings vinyl cover and the rare poster within the Parasomnia box.
Okay.
So, Kale, like, I had to bring it up, Kale, to get you a lot of love, because I know that we joke around with you. You and I bust balls like crazy, but I had to get you some love, dude, because that is just awful. And I feel so bad for you, man. So,
I mean, that's something I would have easily done.
I do
that kind of shit all the time.
Yeah. So Kale, we are all sorry for you. Guys, we promise we'll get to the rankings in a minute, but there is one last thing that I want to promote. So let me see if I can share my screen here. You guys are going to love this one. And I'm being serious this time about that. So this, let's see. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. So our good friend, Mr. Jean-Philippe Lavoie, and there it is. I've got it on the screen. Those of you listening on the audio podcast are going to love this. So Jean-Philippe is doing the Relay for Life run in Quebec City, up north of us here in Canada, and it is a fundraiser for cancer. And we have posted his link to his donation page on our Talking Into Infinity Facebook page. He set what I think is a very small goal of $400. He has reached his goal, so I think he's at like 420 when I checked before I brought this up. But guys, if you have any extra money to donate, please go to our Facebook page, click Jean-Philippe's link, and donate what you can to help him out. That is a beautiful, beautiful cause. I don't know about you, Brian, but cancer is extremely personal for me. My family has had, I can't even tell you how many people pass from cancer. If you guys follow my other show, and I've talked about it here, I've had my dogs pass from cancer. My boy Wayne just passed last year. It's a very personal cause. It hits everybody. So if you go to our Facebook page, if you got anything to give, hit up Jean-Philippe's page and donate for him. He's doing such a beautiful thing. I had to shout him out. I wanted to do that last episode, and I just got sidetracked and completely forgot. It's my fault. So, yeah.
So do you use like normal American cash, or is it like whatever their fake Canadian euros or whatever? How do you donate to?
It all spends, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, so there it is, guys. Just go to our Facebook page and you'll see the post there. So support our very good friend Jean-Philippe Lavoie. Again, I'm probably mispronouncing it, but yeah, support him. Support beating cancer, because fuck cancer. And yeah, look at Doug McCauley. He's like, easy, Brian.
No,
what's that all about, eh?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Right,
this is an awesome cause. I'm glad we got it up there, and I will be donating for sure.
Yes, me as well. So, all right. So let's get to tonight's topic. This is actually, speaking of fans, by the way, I got to take a piss in a minute, Brian. I'm just going to announce it on the show.
Oh, great.
I'm working out. I'm losing a lot of weight, and that's happening. So get ready for the tag. So, yeah, so this is actually, for the first time, a fan-suggested topic here on the show. We have said over the years, hey, man, like if you got a topic, email us at talkingintoinfinity@gmail.com, and we'll, get your stuff on the screen, and we'll do what you want us to do. And our very good friend Johan Alexanderson finally did that. And his idea was asking us to rank the Dream Theater albums, but do it based on the quality of the guitar solos. And obviously quality is not like, oh, this one sucks, or this one, it's just, awesome would be the floor. And then unbelievably kick ass
right.
would be obviously the ceiling. So I don't know about you, Brian, but this proved to be extremely difficult for me. What I did is I pulled up all the records, and I brought up each song, and I picked 3 solos from each record that were the standout solos to me, and I kind of did it that way. So I'm going to put you in solo and explain what your thought process was here.
First of all, the original idea was by Tom Fills, and I thought that was a horrible idea, so we switched it to guitar solos. No, joking aside, this was not an easy thing to do. I love how you put me in solo right as I'm about to lose my voice. Hold. All right, I had to mute myself. So what I did was I tried not to think about how much I liked each album and the songs as a whole, but I tried to think of it as mostly in terms of, are the solos memorable? And every guitar solo is not going to be completely 100% memorable. Let's be real, especially when they're going through 15, 16 albums or whatever it is we had to do here. So my rankings are basically based on which songs have the solos that, to me, make me feel the most, emotionally and musically. Solos where it's not just like, oh, okay, here comes the guitar solo, where that just kind of flows with the song itself. Those are all kind of factors I put into. I did not go through every song on my albums as I'm ranked. I basically put the high points. Some of them have 3, some of them have 6 or 7. But to try to go through and say every single album, every single song, and then break those all down was a little too much. So I wanted to do all the highlights. So there we go. All right. The Sadist Nation says, see, that's interesting because you more so here ranked based on most technical guitar, which is 100 overall. Dramatic turn of events when you combine riffs, unisons, and solos, but best solos solely could be much different. Okay. Who is the Sadist Nation, by the way? I have no idea who that is. I wish John would come back because I hate when he puts me in solo. He's just sitting there waiting, watching me.
I'm trying. StreamYard changed the controls, man. I'm sorry. I had a great comment too, and now the time has passed. You were saying I broke them down, like
cut that whole part out.
Exactly. That was good, man. This is we're off to a smashing start. So
yeah.
Sorry about that, man. The controls are different, so I was like, shit, I'm hitting the buttons. So, all right. So we know how you did yours. We know how I did mine. So I'm gonna let you start because you guessed earlier today that I would have the same album in last place as you do, but I said I think I was going to throw you a curveball. So what do you have? And again, all the guitar solos are great, as I said. So that's the caveat here. All right. So what do you have in last place, unfortunately, of all 16 Dream Theater studio albums?
So I guess I don't know if we even counted Change of Seasons because it's one song.
No. Just the full records.
Okay. So technically that was last. I do have the Astonishing, only because there's 34 tracks on the album, and I went through every single one again a few times, and I came up with only 8 that even had what I considered a solo, and some were very minimal. So it's more of a quantity than quality thing, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So we had Dystopian Overture, Gift of Music, Savior in the Square, but it's like 90 seconds. When Your Time Has Come, Chosen, A New Beginning, Losing Faith, but most of those are, they're just real sporadic. Obviously Our New World is a great solo in it.
Yeah.
But for me, just, this is not an album where you're going to just, if you just want to hear John Petrucci shred all over the place, that has nothing to do with this album,
Yeah.
Or even just a fan of electric guitar in general, because this is the most minimal that there really is on it. There's several songs that I barely have any, if none.
Yeah.
Totally so agree. This to me was, I think, just kind of an obvious. I was between this and one other one, but because of the lack of actual solos on here and what we call a guitar solo nowadays, or ever defined it as, to me, it was kind of a no-brainer. I've got the Astonishing last.
Yeah. The Sadist Nation, great to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in. He says his solos are so great on the Astonishing, though. There's practice videos on YouTube of JP playing 3 of them. So good, so well written. But yeah, it could be last based on how much, et cetera. Agreed, yada yada. So, all right. Well, I'm about to get crucified here. In last place, I have Images and Words.
Wow.
I just think that it's too cliche to say, "Oh, look how good." I can't.
You're joking, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got the Astonishing as well, and for me, again, it's just a, it's a ratio thing. There aren't solos. I was waiting for Caleb to be like, wait, what the? Yeah, there's just not enough solos, and it's obviously not a commentary on how much I love the record itself. Because obviously I'm like the biggest, Astonishing supporter there is, damn near. So, but yeah, I think that one was a little obvious in last place, unfortunately, just because there aren't solos. But I definitely agree with the Sadist Nation. The ones that are there are incredibly tasteful. They fit the music. They're just, excellent examples of Petrucci's mastery of melody. So, yeah, there we go. Sadist Nation, that album ratioed itself. Cale McLeish, Brian, you need a new co-host.
I have for about 4 years.
I think it's 5 now. Aaron Taft, great to see you, bro. He says, I was gonna say blasphemy. So yeah. So yeah, obviously the Astonishing, I think, is consensus there. So all right, number 15. What album do you have?
This will come as no shock to you. I have the debut from Dream Theater, When Dream and Day Unite. There's nothing wrong with the solos on this album, but not being a totally massive fan at this juncture, just because things did not progress, to what they would become. So I just can't sit through this album and go, oh man, I love solo XYZ. Fortune and Lies, full shred fest, great stuff going on there. Status Seekers, some cool harmonic parts, Yes See Jam. I mean, obviously that's gonna be a standout. Probably my favorite on there might be Afterlife, and it's more because he kind of channels his inner Alex Lifeson, right? This one we said sounds a lot like Rush, and especially the guitar solo. So yeah, but I mean, just in terms of sometimes I'm not even exactly sure what he's playing. It's just kind of so fast. This is an album where we talk about, oh, okay, it's time for a guitar solo. Go ahead and go do something, and it's, it's obviously a band who's super raw, right? I mean, and the progress between this and Images and Words we've said is off the charts. So I kind of thought it was a no-brainer to put this one here.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I have that album here as well. The three that I brought up are obviously Fortune and Lies, Yitte Jam, and I know you're gonna probably punch me in the balls for this one, Light Fuse and Get Away. I think that one's got. I like when he gets a little bit wonky, which will come back, time and again here in my rankings. But yeah, it's they're great. They're all great, but it is like, it's, John Petrucci at like 20 years old, and it's, he did, again, if this is his floor, I mean, holy shit, imagine what's coming. And obviously we've got 14 more records to go. So the playing obviously is fantastic, but you could hear him branch out later and everything. So I think this is just, God, I hate to use this word, but because he hadn't branched out yet, just because, you progress as you age and grow as a player, like this would be the most quote unquote stock stuff that he had done. So it's still absolutely like untouchably great. So I agree with you on that one. So
and it has just as much to do with the songwriting, right? As it does, because you can only solo around with what the song structure is and what you come up with initially, You're sort of, I would never say John Petrucci's limited, but in that sense, you are a little bit in that, to that degree.
Yep. Would you say it's to the 6th degree? Sorry, couldn't resist. All right. So number 14. What do you have at number 14?
I'll probably get killed for this one, but something has to go here. I have Awake, and let's see. Am I still on?
I love it.
I get shut off.
I love it. It's going to be hilarious. This is going to be awesome.
Oh, we're going to have the exact same one. That'd be funny. Caught in a Web, great riff, spiraling thing with the heavy riff he does with, along with Portnoy. Innocence Faded, there's really kind of no solo until the end, whereas sort of riding it out there, it's kind of a journey thing going on. Erotomania is fine, you got the, because it's
fine.
right?
Erotomania is fine. That's great. I don't think I've ever heard that word used with Erotomania.
I don't think it's totally great. I mean, I don't like it as much as Yitte Jam and some of the other instrumentals, but it's it's fine.
Oh wow!
But what's
Show me
hilarious
on the call where Awake touched you.
what's hilarious though is the song that you proclaimed as the greatest song written in the history of mankind doesn't even have a solo. Space Divest. So I also had Lie. There's some really cool accents up there. Does kind of that chromatic thing with the wah and stuff. So yeah, I mean, something has to go there. I would just say overall, there's no solos on this album where like I can remember them like note for note, or I don't know, just kind of goes back a little bit to the first one, not quite to that degree. There's great riffs and stuff, but I'm not so sure about the solos.
Okay. Chastity Crawley, great to see you as always. I think she's getting kind of close to popping out that baby. So hope everything is going great with that, Chaz. We love you, man. She said, I agree with Brian on Erotomania. Oh boy. She said, it's not bad, but not my favorite. Oh, oof. That's a rough opinion. Shoo. Okay. So I might get killed for my number 14. I do not have a wake there. I completely disagree with you on that one. I only picked 2 solos on this record that really stood out to me, or that do stand out to me, which ironically is 1/3 of the record. I have Black Clouds and Silver Linings. So the 2 for me, I think are probably obvious. It's The Best of Times. You got to, do that. But also Count of Tuscany. I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
I think when I was putting together my ranking, a lot of it came to stuff like how I listen to the band, or how I listen to music in general, really. And I kind of like take it in totality. I'm very much a feel listener. Like I get into I'm getting into the feel, like, is it aggressive? Is it mellow? Is it fast? Stuff like that. And then if I hear something that catches my ear and I remember it, that's kind of where it grabs me in terms of a guitar solo. And the stuff on Black Clouds is great. Don't get me wrong, but there's only a couple things I remember really well. And again, I mean, The Best of Times has got to be right up there at the top. And Count of Tuscany, I think, as well, is fantastic. But I would say, Black Clouds is down there for me. And by the way, you made a comment a minute ago that I kind of want to address too, when you said, "Oh, there's not really a solo in this song." I forget. I think were you talking about Space Divest? I think.
Yeah.
One of the things that I realized in going back and looking at this, like, there's a lot of songs where you think, if you haven't listened in a while, you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to the solo on that song." A lot of the songs, when you go back and re-listen, you're like, "Oh no, that's a keyboard solo," which I thought was really cool. I thought this was a fun exercise for me personally, because I had to go back and listen to everything in the catalog, and it was like I hadn't listened to a ton of Dream Theater in a long time, and it was really fun to revisit and to kind of have that kind of realization that, oh shit, man, that song's total shred, but there isn't a guitar solo, it's a shred keyboard solo. Was kind of fun. So all right, moving on to number 13. What do you have in that spot?
Okay, here's one I'll probably get killed on. The Train of Thought. Go ahead, bring it on.
Okay.
All right. Is there such a thing as too much guitar? Probably not for this exercise, but this album is already so goddamn heavy that honestly, I don't even think of the solos all that much.
Okay.
Obvious highlights are, I've got Endless Sacrifice, Stream of Consciousness. That's a no-brainer, right? I mean,
right. Yeah.
But Stream of Consciousness, it's kind of hard to tell, okay, what is the solo and what's sort of the framework of the song? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, honestly, my favorite in terms of actual, and this is where we're going to differ. So John's favorite, In the Name of God, has got the Egyptian riffs, followed by Hindo's favorite, the Egyptian riffs and Egyptian's riffs with Jordan and Ma Young, sometimes all playing in unison. But also it has that really cool part in there, and I think we brought this up where it sounds like he's borderline doing Flight of the Bumblebee. It's just so absurd, the notes that are coming out of that guitar. So that's In the Name of God. That is for sure 100% of the Dream Theater guitar solo highlight. If we're ever doing I think we already did a Petrucci highlight moments, but In the Name of God, man, that has to be up there.
Yeah. So Jonah Clayton Mize, thanks for tuning in, man. First time viewer, listener. I don't know who this guy is. He's got a guitar on in his profile picture. Looks a little. Look, look. Didn't help that he used a rectifier on Train of Thought, so the leads were a little mushy. I don't want to be an ass, dude, but from your profile picture, you look a little mushy yourself. I'm joking, guys. So Jonah is the guitar player in one of the 2 guitar players in the band that I sing for, and he's an absolutely fabulous player. And he really knows his shit. So that being said, I know you're not a fan of rectifiers, but I don't know. I've heard some damn good shit coming out of Rex, but I don't know. That's another thing though, listening to the albums, Brian, is like listening to the difference in production value, like how things change from record to record is pretty interesting. So So my number 13 is A View from the Top of the World. And I got to be honest with you, I thought that one would be a little bit higher up for me. My list was a little surprising for me because I have some stuff higher than I thought I would and some things lower than I thought I would. This one, when I went back and re-listened, I'm like, oh yeah, this one and this one and this one. But then I was like, the three solos that I have are obviously the Alien. A View from the Top of the World's got some great stuff. But I think Answering the Call is really great too, because there's some wonk in there. And I think this is the first one on my list where, you get some of that wonky stuff that he can do that I'm just really into. And it kind of really veers off of that normal guitar solo path and I think he does that so incredibly well. But other than that, like I originally was thinking, yeah, it got to be Transcending Time. And while the song itself is awesome, might be the standout on the record for me outside of the Alien, I was like, yeah, guitar solo wise, I think it's just better as a whole piece, so, yeah, so I've got A View from the Top of the World. We're catching a lot of crap, by the way, for Black Clouds and Train of Thought and stuff. So,
I mean, some's got to go somewhere. So
I know. That's why this is so hard, right? Because like, if you got it down this low, it's kind of like, oh man, like you must not like this record. Like, no, like when you talk about John Petrucci, like Jesus, it's like everything is great. So, yeah, good Lord. So, all right. Moving on. So number 12, what do you have at number 12?
Number 12, I think your last or next to last favorite album, and that's the self-titled.
Okay.
4 on here I thought were okay. Enemy Inside. That's one of those, again, it's like what part's the solo and what's just sort of a musical section, you know what I mean? I love the outro solo before the ending riff. Looking Glass, more rushed. I put Alex Lifeson on speed.
Yeah.
Enigma Machine, it's a instrumental, one of the better ones with heavy. But my favorite one on here, Bigger Picture. Oh my God, that's my favorite style. The soaring melodic solo ending with the cascading harmony stuff. The standout on this album for me, for sure. I just, man, the way that solo makes you feel is just like, I don't know, you're just smiling warm and fuzzy inside, just, and
right.
Those are my favorite Petrucci solos. I'm no apologist for that's what I love. And
awesome.
yeah, it kind of surprised me going back to this, and I forgot about that one. I was like, oh man, I forgot about this damn solo on here. So
yeah, there's
for an album that we both don't think is amazing, that I don't know, there's a few moments on there that are really great.
Yeah, I have thoughts on that record, but it is not at number 12 for me. We'll get to my thoughts on the self-titled record later. My number 12, and Sadist Nation, get ready to just, kill me again. Brian had it at number 13. I've got it at number 12, Train of Thought. This is a record, as I belch on Mike, that was really professional. Although I guess putting up a piss banner is really professional too. This isn't, I agree. Like, this is a record you really think, okay, it's all guitar, it's all heavy. You're going to get like, all the killer solos. And I'm with you. Like, yeah, it's so guitar heavy that like, no, like the 3 that I have listed are As I Am, Stream of Consciousness, and In the Name of God. And In the Name of God is obviously like crazy, but As I Am is one of those solos that, even though like I've been on record as saying it's overplayed live, it's, so many people have said, well, I could do without Pull Me Under in the show. I've said, well, I could do without As I Am in the show. But whenever Petrucci goes into that solo, it builds perfectly with the song, and live, it's just the feel. You just go up, 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 up. Yeah. So, I mean, that is a quintessential John Petrucci solo for me. But yeah, there's so much guitar throughout the record. And, Jordan Rudess has been on record as saying like, you can't hear him because like he's doubling a lot of what John's doing, but he's doing like the dirty pig. Like he's doing the dirty keys as like a rhythm that I think there's so much guitar that the stuff that John's doing, which is amazing solo wise, it kind of gets drowned under a sea of guitar. So amazing record. Love the heaviness, love the production. Actually, I'm a big fan of how like in your face and dry it is and just fat and heavy. But yeah, I've got that at number 12. So number 11 is up next. What do you have?
Well, this is probably one I'm going to get crucified on too.
Okay.
The song and the album that started a war basically on this show, a debate, if you will, a never-ending debate. Octavarium.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, going back and listening to this, I don't know, man. Obviously the main big one is Panic Attack. I mean, the Octavarium itself, yeah, there's some cool stuff, but that's 87.5% Jordan, the whole thing really. Never enough cool stuff in there. I love the melody in Sacrifice Sons that he does when he's soloing. But yeah, I don't know. This one for me was like, I was kind of surprised because I thought I would have it a little bit higher, but I'm listening to it again and I'm like, well, if this exercise is strictly on the guitar solos, I'm going to have to put this here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have it as low as you do. So again, we'll get there. But for me, number 11 was, and you can go ahead and crucify me for this, Brian, A Dramatic Turn of Events. I honestly thought that I would have this one higher because as I was going back and listening, I was like, oh yeah, that's a great solo. That's a great solo. That's a great solo. Like I kind of, with a record that I'm not as into as the others, like I kind of get lost in it. And so I forget the high points. And so when I was listening to it and picking out the solos, I was like, oh yeah, like for me, Breaking All Illusions, Lost Not Forgotten, Bridges in the Sky, those are the standouts, for me. But then as I went to do the rankings, I was like, oh yeah, that one's got stuff I remember a little more. That one's got, so I don't know. I mean, really great stuff. And I will say this, and again, no offense, Brian, but the solos are phenomenal on this record. And I think it's really kind of saves the album. When I mentioned production earlier, unfortunately, this record sounds quiet. Like it's kind of, nothing really hits hard. And it's just, I don't know, man. Like I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, if you're gonna lose Mike Portnoy, you need to come out with something that's got that monstrous production. And this had the opposite, and I think maybe that was, yeah. So I've got that at number 11. By the way, our very good friend Luke the composer has checked in. Great to see you as always, bro. He says Lost Not Forgotten has one of Petrucci's most underappreciated solos. And of course, Breaking All Illusions has a gorgeous solo, one of the all-time greats. Yeah, totally agree, man. Totally agree. Look at the Doug McCauley. Really? Am I on crack or are Brian and John? No, wait, let's wait for the top 3. But I'll dig the graves now just in case. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well,
I gotta say, one of my favorite things about the show, I love the ball busting that we catch, and everybody can just like get in here and just like start tearing away at each other. I love that, man. You guys are awesome.
Well, as we always say, everyone's entitled to their completely uninformed, horrible opinions, especially you, John, and you, Doug.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Hey, leave Doug alone, man. What's that all about? I'm just gonna do that. How do you spell Canada? Canada. So, all right. So number 10. What do you got?
All right. This is going to be the one that has you literally falling out of your chair. You did not have this on your bingo card. I am right behind you at number 10 with Dramatic Turn of Events.
Really?
Yeah. Going through it, I did not realize. Again, it's not that there's not a lot of guitar on there, but solo wise, we're kind of on the same page. A few crossovers, but I had a couple extras in there. I put This Is the Life. Okay. One of those I kind of consider like contemplative. It's bluesy and heavy. just enough arpeggios and hammers on, and he always ends with those high screaming notes, Outcry, always underappreciated. I think it's almost more of an entire band solo in that one, but one of those, you talked about one of the other solos like this too. It's plodding along and it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and just keeps building on itself. And of course, you have to talk about Breaking All Illusions. The solo in this one, I kind of forgot. They went full on Pink Floyd The Wall on this. I mean, it's sort of that jazzy lounge fusion, when it's all up top the mellow organ that that Rudius lays down. And once again, you end that whole phrase with the single note just ringing out, which I'm going to keep talking about on almost every time I talk about his solos. But it kind of shocked me that it was down there. Again, as an album as a whole, obviously I have it ranked a lot higher, but solos, I was kind of surprised where I ended up with it.
Interesting. Okay. Kale, I think this is an interesting take. He says for number 10, he's got Parasomnia. He said, yeah, I'm asking for the same flogging, but I don't think it's quite hitting the heights the same way. Save Bend the Clock, of course. All right. Well,
that was the hardest one to rank for me, man, because it's still new, it's still fresh, and I still don't even know necessarily. I mean, obviously I like it a lot, but I still don't know my total thoughts on the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's been out a while, but it's like sometimes it takes me a long time to like go, okay, this is really what this song means to me when I hear it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like to dive in and have stuff grow,
It was easy for me to rank, so I will say that. Doug says, I thought Parasomnia was tasteful as shit all the way through. Yeah, I'll get to Parasomnia later. So I don't agree with you, Kale. I think you've got it a little bit low, but again, this is everyone's opinion. I'm wondering if my number 10 might surprise some people. I have Systematic Chaos, and I only have 2 solos. I guess you might want to call it 3, but obviously the Dark Eternal Night, that's just like weirdness and wonk and heaviness and all kinds of goofiness. And I In the Presence of Enemies, I lumped them together. I think there's some great work in there, but other than that, I mean, I guess people talk about Ministry of Lost Souls and stuff like that, and it's just this was not a guitar solo record to me. That being said, I feel like the stuff that I remember, it basically encapsulates what we said about the record every time we've talked about it, which is highest of highs, lowest of lows. You know what I mean? So, I got a couple things I remember, and the rest is okay. Really good, but not my thing. Luke the Composer.
I am surprised a little bit by this one on you. I'll say that.
Okay. I mean, Luke the Composer says Constant Motion solo is great. Yeah, I agree with you, Luke. I just think I've heard him do to me. God, dude, this is the shittiest thing trying to critique John Petrucci. Like, honest to God, it's like we sound like such pompous assholes, man. But yeah, I feel like that solo kind of like follows a pattern that he'd done in a couple of other of the quote unquote singles for records. So great solo. Again, I as much as we're quote unquote critiquing, all of it is unbelievably fantastic and untouchable. But yeah, Constant Motion is awesome. But I've heard that kind of solo in other songs. So Systematic Chaos is at number 10 for me. Kale, by the way, says exactly. Brian's saying it perfectly. This is about Parasomnia. I'm kind of just getting new release bias. Not seeing Broken Man on the Australian tour did actually make me reassess the solos here. Interesting. Okay. All right. So number 9.
You have me questioning this one now. I got Black Clouds here, and I'm starting to think maybe I should have had it lower, kind of back where you were.
Right.
If I'm being honest. I mean, the obvious ones are you said Best of Times, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And obviously Count of Tuscany.
Those were the 2.
Nightmare to Remember. I don't know if you could fit any more notes in that solo if you tried, but also like, okay, if I saw him play it 10 times, and he played it different all 10 times, I don't know if I would know if it was the same or if it was different, and I'm not saying that for every single note that's played or the entire solo, but I'm just saying it in general as a taste thing. Rite of Passage, that's again a shred fest, but it's done pretty tastefully. So I put that up there. Best of Times is what it is. Count of Tuscany, this song has a couple different solos in it. What can I say? When that electric comes in after the acoustic part to start the song, the hairs still stand up on the back of my neck. There's something about that wailing part, also right before the continuum, the wailing part solo, holding up that note, Rings Out for Eternity. Those two spots in a Dream Theater, in their catalog, and this song, I don't know what it is. They just get me. It's just the way it all fits together, and there's just an emotion, it's just a wave that comes over me. But as far as everything else on the album, it's probably not like you're saying. You've got a couple of these really high highs, and the rest are. And again, we're just talking strictly in terms of memorable guitar solos, and we're also talking about trying to rank them. So I guess if I redid this, I'm probably going to drop that a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 spots lower.
Okay. Sadist Nation says, I hate ranking. This is dumb. All albums are S tier pretty much, and all are top 1s and 2s. All right, Sadist, look, you can have your opinion, but the fact that you said S tier, I think you're referencing that here's my ranking meme on so many like music websites or Facebook pages, whatever. The fact that you reference that saying S tier, that's dumb too. So I'll give you that. But I just want to say that. I understand where you're coming from. The whole ranking thing, obviously, as Doug phrased it so well. He's like, we're not critiquing or anything, we're just ranking. And it is all great. And look, man, we got to have something to talk about, Sadist. So, what do you want, dude? And Johan Alexanderson said he wanted to hear our rankings. So, it's ironic. Johan's not in the chat tonight. This is like his episode, dude. So, I
like Doug's breakdown of the phases we go through listening. That is pretty funny.
Yeah, Doug says, does everyone else go through the Dream Theater phases with each album? 1, what the fuck am I listening to? 2, this is the best thing ever. 3, holy shit, I forgot about this. I love this. Yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. That's pretty much it. Dude, we are very lucky to be fans of a band where pretty much, even if they put out something, we're like, oh, that's like the weakest album. It smokes pretty much any other band's record. Like, you know what I mean? The quality is just so high, man. I know that's fanboying, but I really don't care. It's my show. I can do what I want to. All right, so at number 9, you had it low, and I feel like I might have it low for some people. I have Octavarium. So the 3 for me, you got to have the Octavarium solo. The Root of All Evil, and I think I've got that one on there. First of all, it's great, but I just always remember that one concert they did at the beginning of April in 2006. And if, let's say, you were a person that was there, like when he went into it, I'm sure it was awesome. And the whole energy just got, which was already over, through the roof. It went even higher when he did that guitar solo. I wouldn't know about it, but I'm just saying, if someone was at that particular Radio City Music Hall concert in April of 2006,
All right. Taking a drink, like Kale said.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I see. There you go. See, Luke. There you go.
I think we're at the point of any inference whatsoever to that incident. I think at this point has to get a drink.
Look, man. Look at Kale. Take the shots.
Well, I'm only drinking water, so I guess that. If there's an inference, it has to at least be water. Let's put it that way.
All right, we'll do that. All right. So the Root of All Evil, but obviously Panic Attack is just like a banger, absolute banger. And but I think this is one of those records it's an awesome album, but this is much more. Aaron Taft with a typo. He says definitely implied. You know, so yeah, you guys. All right, so Chastity is correcting us. Sean made the game. Sean Faust, shout out to you, brother. And he said, if you talk about being there, not necessarily the name, just saying you were there. And I didn't. I said, let's say that, if there is a guy who was there, I bet if the energy, like, I didn't do it. So I completely skirted, making everybody drink. If you guys are all alcoholics and you just want to do like a drink just because you thought that's what I was talking about, don't come to me with your problems. But yeah, Panic Attack's a banger. Yeah, I think this record it's amazing, but it's not so much a guitar solo album. It's much more a collection of great songs. Like when I first was thinking about it, I'm like, oh, there's got to be something awesome in These Walls, because it's like, my favorite song on the record. And Doug McCauley, I can't believe this is still a thing. I love this channel. Cam McLeish, bro, you absolutely did. Oh my God. Chastity, someone rewind and see exactly what John said. I know what I said. I purposely avoided it. All right, Brian, I have to pull yours up. There's like 4 people to keep the lights on here. That's true, man. That's true. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, but so I think this is like a collection of great songs, and you don't really think of a lot of the solos, but I will say, because I do have it in ninth place, the solos that are here are a little more memorable than the stuff, at least as a collective, than the records that I had before it. So the ones right in the middle were interesting for me, and my next one I think is gonna surprise you, considering there's a record that I haven't brought up yet, which, so number 8. What is on your list at number 8?
I think this was your 10 or 11. Systematic Chaos.
Okay.
This was a weird one to rank too. I thought there was more guitar on this going in as well, but
yeah, that's what it feels like, right?
But it has, and I'll disagree a little bit on Constant Motion, man. I was going to say it's the crown jewel guitar, but there is a song on there called Dark Eternal Night. This is just a full metal assault on the senses, and I can appreciate a lot more the solos on that, because they don't do it on every song. It's not like Train of Thought, that has 6 Eternal Nights on there. You know what I mean? or stuff or stuff in that dark, heavy vein. I'm joking slightly, but yeah, I mean, In the Presence of Enemies, I mean, God, there's borderline 15 minutes of solos in those 2 songs combined, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Forsaken, I love the tone on that one. He never goes too insane. He stays in the framework. It's supposed to be kind of a 4.5 minute sort of single, for them. Worked great, but yeah, I mean, I guess what pushed this higher than some of the other stuff was probably Constant Motion and Dark Eternal Night. And I know that's only 2 songs, but then you combine it with In the Presence of Enemies, and we got 30 minutes of music out of that, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
26 minutes, and that's a lot of guitar solo, and that's mostly pretty sweet. So
awesome. Yeah. Man, it's odd. We're really similar on a lot of this. I think there's only one that, one I know that we're very opposite on, but we'll see where a couple of these other things land. But my number 8, and I got to be honest, I was very surprised this album went into the top half. I have the self-titled album, and the 3 solos for me, and actually until I kind of went back at the last minute and like really kind of polished, my list, I think it was at number 6. But I have The Looking Glass, obviously, Enigma Machine, which I'm always going to die on that hill, and Behind the Veil. I know everyone's talking about the bigger picture. I had that on here, but Behind the Veil to me, I like better. But what I will say about this album is that the ones that are above it are only above it because they're more memorable to me. Like I can, I can start singing like the albums below this one, I'm like, oh, I remember that once I hear it. The ones above it, I could actually start singing to you. But what I didn't realize about the self-titled record, as much as it's like my least favorite album, this record really is held together by the guitar solos. You can really look at it that way, because you really can't complain about anything he did solo-wise on this album. I mean, I think the glue of this record is really John Petrucci. So, yeah, again, I had it as high as number 6, which really surprised me. So, yeah, that's Doug Sadist Nation, excuse me, says Behind the Veil is the crowned solo from JP himself. Yeah, that is, dude, that is such an incredible solo, man. Kale says his number 8 is I'm starting to get into that realm. Sorry, John. I think I have to preemptively dump scenes from a memory. Spirit Carries On notwithstanding, I forget about a lot of the solos here. All right. I mean, Kale, it's all, it's all our opinions. Doug says, I can't believe Brian buried the Lie solo out behind the shed near the dead hookers where the grass doesn't grow. I fucking love that solo. Still shocked. I do have to wonder about that, dude.
Wait, what did I say about Lie?
You had it at 14. You had Awake at 14.
Oh, he's just talking about the album. Okay, yeah.
No, you probably shit on Lie enough, but
no, I had Lie as one of the high points.
I know,
of
but
the,
still,
of the 14th ranked solo album.
Just stop. We side with the fans, remember, not each other. So, all right. So number 7, what do you got? By the way, I do have to say, I'm kind of shocked that in the top 7, you haven't mentioned my favorite record yet. So,
well, what if I were to tell you that was about to change?
What if
number 7? I do have Falling Into Infinity.
Number 7, I have Falling Into Infinity.
Oh, okay.
So there's a double shock. You had it in the top half, and I had it only at number 7. So,
well, why don't you go first? Because it's your favorite one. So, and I've been going first all the time. Go ahead, you go first on.
No, it's all good. This is another one. I think the solos are great, and the whole record's great to me. But this record to me is a vibe. It's a collection of what I think are phenomenal songs, but with an awesome vibe. The 3 solos I mentioned are Take Away My Pain. I've always loved that one. That solo, it's like I might be able to put that one at the top of my entire John Petrucci guitar solo list if I was to really think about it. Because when people talk about guitar solos, they're like, oh, it's got the feel, and you can feel the emotion of the this and feel the emotion of the that. And I get that sometimes. This one really, to me, knowing the subject matter of the song, the way that he grabs some, like right there, the way he grabs it kind of sounds like not a scream, but like just hurting. And so I think that the solo in this song just totally matches the vibe of the lyrics. Also for me, Hell's Kitchen, obviously it's my favorite Dream Theater instrumental. That one goes without saying. And Lines in the Sand, I think any Dream Theater fan who appreciates John Petrucci and listens to this record can say, yeah, Lines in the Sand. So, but yeah, this record's more of a vibe to me and a jam feel. And the solos are great, and I remember a bunch of it. But, there are 6 other records where I remember the solos a little bit more. So why do you have this one at number 7?
Yeah, it's kind of a vibe type album. Peruvian Skies.
Yeah.
One of the earlier signs of this sort of this wah, these super melodic moments, and kind of what would grow out of some of that stuff. Man, Hollow Years, I'll tell you why this is so good. Because of what he doesn't do here. He doesn't overplay and overshadow this song for no reason. Just on that subtle acoustic Spanish neoclassical kind of thing sputtered throughout. Hell's Kitchen. I mean, I'd call it the anti-Hollow Years, right? that riff gets doubled and tripled and harmonized. And I know this is one of your favorite songs, Lines in the Sand. I mean, it's just like screams up the fretboard. It just, squeezing every last ounce of emotion out of. And I mean, you brought up a great point. Take away my pain. I think the only reason I didn't even put "Take Away My Pain" on here is because I've talked about it so many times before that I was like, yeah, I won't. Even though it is like you said, it's just a moving solo. And this album too. We've talked before that the guitar tone on this is. I'm not going to say it's worse. It's very different. It doesn't sound like there's no other album they have where his guitar sounds like this, and I'm still not sure if that's a good thing, a bad thing, or if it's just kind of in the middle. But it's a totally different tone on this entire album.
I think it's a wetter tone. I think it's a little bit more like in your face, direct. Yeah. Like I said, it's just a wetter tone to me. So, which I love the sound of the record. I love the feel of the record, and it's just, to me, it's like the most unique thing that they have in the catalog. So, excuse me, outside of the astonishing, but all right. So there's our number 7s. All right, number 6. What do you got?
Number 6. This was a tough one to figure out where to go to. I've got 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence.
Wow, Kale's got that as his number 7, but all right, so wow, 6 Degrees. Okay.
Yeah, this I mean, it's gonna sound dumb to say, but this album is so damn proggy and so dense. Like, maybe the solos don't stand out, or they do, or there's so much going on that sometimes you're like, I don't even know what to focus on, Right. I'm not taking away from, I just don't know in terms of songs and just being memorable, the solo part. But I mean, Glass Prison, that's just a sonic assault on your brain, right?
Right.
I mean, great debate. There's, I like how it takes on the melody after the shredding and soloing and stuff about 3/4 in the song, I think it is. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. Yeah, okay. So speaking of like conveying a feeling while soloing, About to Crash, good Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, this one nails it. You feel like you're going off the rails, right? I mean, it's just like you're going off the rails completely, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, wait a minute, it's just, I don't know. It's just something about the melodic phrasing in that one. You get pulled back in. The Test that stumped them all. I mean, this is the guitar solo that stumped them all, right?
All right.
This one has the tension. You're being pulled, back and forth.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Goodnight Kiss. There's 4 different solos or themes going on. Sometimes I don't even know exactly what is the solo. It all fits. But yeah, and then Solitary Shell. I mean, it's acoustic, great stuff at its finest. I mean, if you don't get a smile on your face with like the stuff going on in that solo of Solitary Shell, I don't know what, I don't know what's going to do it for you.
Right.
But yeah, again, I don't think this. Going to sound crazy because as proggy as this album kind of is in spots, I don't think this album is all that. Again, I don't know what the word the word that you used was exactly, but not built on guitar solos, which, I don't think they build songs like that anywhere, albums like that anyway, but certain albums are going to lean more in that direction.
Yeah, well, it's like the songs stand out more than the solos do. And
right.
Like sometimes it's varied. So,
right.
And there's Kale, man. Damn it, Brian, you changed my mind. 6 Degrees over Falling Into Infinity now. Aaron Taft says, Stump Them All is definitely one of his best solos. I will discuss 6 Degrees at another time. But for right now, I'm going to give my number 6, which is Distance Over Time. The standouts for me, obviously, Barstool Warrior. Obviously At Wit's End, but again, going back to the Wonk that I really dig, Room 137, and that kind of bluesy weird thing and all that kind of,
yep.
Combined with like just some straight metal playing, I've always felt like Distance Over Time is kind of a John Petrucci record. It's very guitar heavy when you really listen to it. To me, obviously, I'm a big fan of it. It's in my top 3. And I think the solos are awesome. Like I said, I mean, again, Barstool Warrior is just undeniable. For me, At Wit's End, I think goes without saying as well, that fade out thing. I know you're like a monstrous fan of it. Obviously, you've got it in your top 5 because you haven't mentioned it yet. Yeah, just a great record, and I think it, a collection of great songs, as I said, but the guitar solos, when you really listen to it, kind of, yeah, this, they really stand out. So, Cale McLeish showing that Down Under they can't count. He says, "Hang on, why do we only have 4 main albums left, and I'm in the top 5?" Cale, you got to stick around here, man. We're Brian and I have 5 left apiece, so there you go. I think you forgot one. So, yeah. So, all right. So we are into the top 5. Look, Doug. What is it? You know what? I gotta say, Doug says I have 6 left. Listen, you foreigners. Maybe. Damn you, Canadians and Australians, learn to count. It's the same worldwide.
That's funny.
Cale McLeish in all caps. The hell did I lose? Hey man, we're all drunk on shred. What can we say? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Doug McCauley. In Canada, we count a change of seasons. That's awesome, man.
Nice.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. All right, so we are into the top 5. All right, man. I think we got. I'm trying to think how many we have. Wow, I think we've got 3.
We're in the top 5, then that means we have how many left? Let's see, carry the 2.
Stop, you ass. I'm trying to think how many we have in common that are in the top 5. All right. Brian, what do you have in your 5th position?
You know what? I would never have said in a million years that this album would be number 5 looking at these. I got View from the Top of the World. Alien. The solos sound like they are out of this world. Sleeping Giant starts out melodic and mellow and building higher and higher. There's that cool thing, it spirals around with Rudis harmonically and then slowly makes the jump to, John will appreciate this, Light Speed. Awaken the Master. Petrucci gets kind of like a 6-minute nap before he wakes up that 8-string. Once he does, not even 15 tons of knockout gas could send him back into a slumber. View from the Top of the World, the title track here. Oh, by the way, they're serving burgers in the back. View from the Top of the World. I come to love this song more and more as an epic, and we've talked about this before. If you watch the video on Spotify, you listen to the song on Spotify, it will put this giant mountain in the background with fog and smoke and everything going around it. And man, I mean, the solos in this, you feel like JP's at the top of that mountain there, just shredding away. And just a super emotional song. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. Like, there's something about it. It's not something I don't think you grab onto and grasp right away and you go, this is completely amazing. But man, I don't know, that song has just grown on me more than any of their other songs I think that they've on albums that they've released. I love the title track from View from the Top of the World.
Yeah, I didn't have it ranked especially high when we did the epic ranking episode, but it really is. I mean, I went back and listened to it today as I was going through everything, and this is one of the songs I actually was like, I don't think I've listened to this enough, and it really is pretty damn good. I mean, my feelings still have not changed about the record in its entirety, which is that it's just a one giant piece of music chopped into pieces. But yeah, that's a damn good song, man. So totally agree with you on that one. My number 5, I might catch some shit for, but I have Scenes from a Memory at number 5. The standouts for me, obviously, Overture 1928. Got to go with The Spirit Carries On. And Home. So I think, my favorite stuff is probably kind of paint by numbers, cliche kind of stuff. Like, most people would kind of bring those up. But, I think what's interesting about this record and me having it in the top 5 is that this is also not a record that I think you think about the guitar solos, because you think about it as a whole being the concept record that it is. And and so many other things, Dance of Eternity and these different vocal moments and stuff. It's really a collective, and yet the guitar solos still stand out above all of that, which is just what a fucking crazy achievement, for John Petrucci to write stuff that's that unbelievably catchy when everything else around it is like damn near perfect. So just a fantastic record and great playing throughout. So so I've got Scenes from a Memory at number 5. So we are now in our top 4. What do you have at number 4?
Number 4, we have the return of Mike Portnoy. It's Parasomnia.
That's my number 4 as well.
Talk about don't know where to rank this one because it's still like yeah, man. I mean, In the Arms of Morpheus, we only got to wait about 4 minutes, and then we get that warm, gooey, and fuzzy feeling with JP carrying the melody, right off the bat. It's like,
yep,
this is probably going to be a pretty decent album, I mean, we already know because we heard, the singles and stuff, but I mean, Night Terror, that great harmonic part with Rudess is awesome. You get some more Flight of the Bumblebee stuff going on in this one too.
Right.
Midnight Messiah, I love the super fast hammer-ons, mixed with some of those arpeggios. I mean, Bend the Clock, it's the solo, it's the ultimate song within a song. You might hear this go
Great
yawn,
phrasing.
but it's such subtle restraint, but it fills up the song so perfectly. I mean, I love the solo in Bend the Clock. I think it's freaking amazing.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you just phrased it perfectly. That really is like a song within a song. That is a beautiful way to phrase it. Yeah. Well, and how about the fact that it's their 16th record, 40 years into their career, and he's still pumping out stuff like that where the whole entire world heard that and immediately was like, yeah, that's basically like one of the greatest things he's ever done. So, man. I've got Parasomnia at number 4 as well. The 3 that stand out, obviously, as we just said, Bend the Clock. I mean, if you're a fan of Parasomnia and you don't like the solo on Bend the Clock, then you're actually just saying you're a fan of Parasomnia or Dream Theater in general. I also have the Shadow Man Incident. I think there's some amazing stuff there. And I agree with you, Midnight Messiah. The reason that I have this album in the top 4, and it's not a recency bias thing, there were a lot of things on this album solo wise where I kind of went, like, man, I haven't heard him do that. Like, it sounded fresh. And how many times 40 years and 16 albums into a band's career can you say, oh, I'm hearing something fresh? I don't think it's very often. And I heard a lot of that on this album. So that's why it ranked as high as it does for me. And I just think that's incredibly impressive. So we're both in agreement. Parasomnia at number 4. So, all right, we're into the top 3 now. What do you have as number 3?
Number 3, you just had this an album or 2 ago. I thought there was a chance this could end up number 1. We've been on record as how much we are just massive fans of this kind of a borderline comeback album. Distance Over Time.
Yeah.
Paralyzed, man. I mean, what I love about it is there's a massive riffing that makes up the tune, but then you got the killer singular melodic lines for the solo. He's just great at mixing those. And I mean, Barstool Warrior, again, the solo is kind of its own song. Melody fits perfectly. I mean, at Wit's End, I think is the ultimate DT solo of all time. Hell, the ultimate outro solo of any song ever. I just love the way it soars above the clouds. The other one I forgot about, and you absolutely love this song, is Out of Reach. I mean, it's kind of like I put on there, he's like dancing around with those phrases on the guitar after the first verse. It's like, I don't know, it's a little bit, it's not something he totally does a lot of. It's just something about the way it fits the mood and everything. Pale Blue Dot, I mean, it sounds literally like what this song, kind of the message is. It's sort of like a mad scientist on acid, right? You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
I mean, for the message and theme and stuff for the song, it's sort of, that's what it should sound like. And I mean, I don't know, you could probably borderline pick every damn song on Distance Over Time, and and not go wrong with as far as guitar solo, and it's something that kind of sticks out, and maybe, oh yeah, maybe I heard it before, but I didn't hear it quite done this way, or it seems new, or it just adds so much to the song rather than, okay, well, here's the solo. I just think the way they were able to sort of like or this was the one where they kind of all got together and stayed in the compound
Yonder
or whatever.
Barn. Yeah, the Yonder Barn.
You could just tell that formula worked so well on this album.
Yeah, I agree. Before I get to my number 3, I do have to agree with you on obviously Out of Reach. I left it off. It was an obvious thing for me, but I totally agree with you that solo is, like you said, understated, and I just, I don't know much about guitar, so Cale, you can explain this to me, or anybody else in the chat who knows, or people can email us if I'm screwing. So, but that descending part, unless I'm wrong, it's him just on one note with one finger sliding, and it's just done impeccably. Like it's so simple, exactly where something needs to be. So simple, like just the tasteful quality of it is just unbelievable. So, man. All right, before I get to my number 3, let's go to Cale McLeish. His number 3 is Black Clouds and Silver Linings. Consistent high bar across the whole damn thing, but melodic stuff like Wither and Count absolutely sends it. Great JP wizardry. Doug McCauley says, good pick, Cale. See, John? That's where it goes. No, I'm going to disagree, because I have Black Clouds and Silver Linings third from the bottom. Third from the top, I have what Brian had third from the bottom, which is Dream Theater's, ironically, third album, Awake. The standouts for me, obviously, Voices is just unbelievable. Caught in a Web, just a great metal solo, and Lie, I have that one on here too. And a lot of Lie for me, honestly, is the video where he's like ripping ass in the back of a truck, like that's pretty cool. But when I went back and listened to the solos on Awake, I was like, you know what? All of these are memorable. Like, this is just I kind of got the feeling that, like, this is really where John Petrucci became John Petrucci. Because as we said about When Dream and Day Unite, it's kind of like, I hate to use the word again, but like stock. Like these are how here's an arpeggio, here's a sweep pick, here's a shred, whatever. But I mean, they're all great. And then there was a little bit of that goofiness that would come later. Images and Words, I think, obviously is just like untouchable. Super melodic, this, that, and the other. But I think Awake is when you start hearing a little bit some of the weirdness come in, and him really starting to get out of the norm. It was the first time I really started to hear things that you would hear later. I know you like to use that term a lot, Brian, like, oh, you can tell what's coming later. So, so yeah, for me, Awake just, and I never thought I would have it this high when Johan emailed this to us, this topic, but I do. So my number 3 is Awake. Like Doug McCauley. Or are they memorable because we're old? Nice. All right, so we are now in our top 2, and it looks like we have a common album in our top 2. So what is your number 2?
Yeah, it would have been super easy to put this one, but I'm gonna go Images and Words here.
That's my number 2 as well.
Yeah. So you know how if you went to a Rush concert, or if Tom Sawyer comes on the radio, everyone has to play the right?
Yep.
Well, just like that, when you go see Dream Theater live, Pull Me Under, I mean, everyone has to play the guitar solo to. Well, I mean, hell with that. They have to play every damn keyboard and guitar thing going on and Pull Me Under, right? I mean, everyone's playing every part to it.
Yep.
So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you it's a guitar solo song, I don't know what does. I misspoke a little bit earlier because I said something about the true birthplace of the massive guitar sound that carries the huge melody. Dude, it started with Another Day. I mean, I think that's when it started. Like that. I mean, let's just be real here, right? Surrounded. I mean, does it get better when it goes to Double Time? With that echoey riff thing, and it plays it higher and higher and higher, and squawks it out.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, one I kind of forgot. I'm not even gonna say Metropolis because that's been beat to death. But
right.
Under a Glass Moon, man. I mean, some really eloquent stuff in there, just dripping with tone and melody. And yeah, man. I mean, and of course, you could pick out anything from Metropolis itself, but I've already. I'll let you talk about that one if you want.
Yeah. No, actually, I don't have that one. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is one of these albums where you're literally half the guitar solos. I think you're humming along to them, just they're so integral to the parts of this, to the way these songs are constructed. And they have yet to, and I don't want them to duplicate, everyone's like, God, I want them to make another Images and Words. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. It's too great as it is a standalone for what they're able to achieve. So let's set the bar. I don't even want to say higher, but let's do something a little different. And they've never quite done that song to song, just so much melody in every ounce of everything that goes into it. I mean, it's just a master class.
No, I completely agree, man. Obviously I Have Another Day. I mean, that is, I think that's, where you start. Under a Glass Moon, people do bring up Metropolis all the time. And I gotta say, man, if you back to back guitar solo wise, Metropolis and Under a Glass Moon, I think it's hard to deny that Under a Glass Moon is the standout. So I've got that. And Aaron Taft is bringing up my number 3 on this record. Aaron Taft says Learning to Live is pretty great too. That's the third one that I have. I don't think that one gets talked about nearly enough. I think that Learning to Live might be the most perfect Dream Theater song they've ever done, because it's like it's kind of like when you write a paper in high school and you go through all these points and then you have to summarize them in the last paragraph. That's Learning to Live. You go through all this stuff, the previous, what is it, 7 tracks, 8 tracks, whatever's on Images and Words, and it's all summarized in Learning to Live. And the guitar solo on it was just unbelievably beautiful. And like you said, I mean, dude, you can sing them all, like you remember them all. That just it's a masterclass in melody, and just an absolutely phenomenal record. And and I think it's so easy to put the album up here in terms of just album rankings, because we both did have it in our top 3, I think top 2. But I think it speaks to how unbelievably great the solos are, that you still remember them, on top of the fact that that this is the Dream Theater record, So just absolutely fabulous. And again, like I said, with When Dream and Day Unite, I mean, Petrucci's in his early 20s. I mean, I know it's not apples to oranges, but in a way it kind of is. Think about what the hell you and I were doing musically in our early 20s. It fucking goddamn sure was not anything near this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, we could work. I mean, how many billions of musicians can work their whole lives to try to achieve this level? And he was doing it like when he was barely old enough to drink a beer. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Yeah, but yeah, what man, what a kick-ass record, and just, kick-ass guitar playing and stuff. So, all right, we are at our final record, each of us. I don't remember where you're at. So, all right, so give me your number 1, man. What is the best Dream Theater record in terms of guitar solos for you?
This one kind of, I don't think it surprised me. I don't know. If I was being brutally honest with myself, this didn't surprise me at all. And I just like, all of a sudden I'm like, well, yeah, this is one. I got Scenes from a Memory.
Okay.
I mean, I just think this is this is just a guitar album front to back. Not in the sense of Train of Thought, more in the sense of hard rock, bluesy rock kind of playing. Scene one where he makes scene one where he makes the guitar sound like a ticking clock. That's amazing. Oh, wait, that actually is a clock. Never mind. No, but like, Overture 1920. I mean, you're in for a ridiculous amount of super tasty guitar. As soon as he starts with that, what we don't know is going to be, there must be the first and last. He's doing that musical phrase. That's going to be the first and last dance, and you're like, man, it's so damn cool. I mean, Strange Deja Vu. I'm not sure if that's a solo, but it's that riff, this push and pull between him, in the rhythm section, and before the back on my feet again part, back on my feet again, it's Fatal Tragedy. I mean, it goes ballistic after that piano part. It's brutally heavy. It speeds up, Through Her Eyes. We both love that song. I mean, the way he wails with that, and it's kind of echoes between him and James, and Labrie, like they sort of echo those notes, or the chick is singing that part too, or whatever.
Yep.
But
that
Home,
chick.
that chick that's in there too.
I don't know, Teresa Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, her. Home's got your favorite thing, the Egyptian wah riff at the end. I absolutely love. I mean, it's so great. And then it's still weird to me that it's not the last song on the album, but Spirit Carries On. Like, it's just, that's the tour de force of Petrucci.
Yeah,
he takes guitar places he never thought possible. I don't know if he ever stops playing or ever stops coming up with progressions that just constantly build and just take you, it just takes your mind somewhere, and you're like, you shouldn't be able to do this with the guitar. Like, just these subtle changes, and it's just a clinic in building a rock, epic song. It's kind of never going to be forgotten from this era, So I think, just in terms of pure soloing and what he brought to the table, I'll go ahead and keep Scenes of Memory and just put it number one. Still there? Did we lose John?
Yep, still here.
Lose me? Okay. I don't hear you, but your picture's moving.
I'm good.
Okay.
Now I'm good. So yeah. Are you still not hearing me? What the hell's going on here?
No, I hear you now, but you kept freezing up.
Oh, that's why I froze purposely, and I wasn't speaking. So,
okay.
So there we go. This is why I'm getting fiber in a few weeks. So
nice.
But yeah, to your point, before I get to my number one, to your point about Spirit Carries On. Like I said about Take Away My Pain, where it's got that feeling to it, like, that people say, oh, it's got the feeling in the soul, and that one really kind of does. Spirit Carries On that dude, like that, like, and you see videos of people crying during that stuff, but it is like when you combine the beauty of that melody with the the words of the lyrics and the feel of the song. I think I've said this on the show before, but like, I mean, my mom quoted that poem when my grandpa died, her dad. She's the oldest of 5 kids, and she said, "Move on, be brave, don't weep my grave, for I'm no longer here." So that for me especially just hits. And when it gets into that guitar solo, like, it's so simple but so poignant. Like, so when you see people crying over it, like, I'm like, that's the one time I could be like, yeah, I get it. Like, I understand, So yeah, totally. So Hurd checking in. Good to see you, bro. Our good buddy Bob Hurd from the Two Bobs cast. He said his number 1 is Images and Words. His number 2 is Scenes. And his number 3 is Black Clouds. And he says Rock On. I'm not going to say Rock On because his number 3 is wrong. So is his number 2, and his number 1 is wrong as well, because the true number 1 is 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. So that is my number 1. I realize it might be kind of a cheat because there's a lot more music to choose from, but I just think this is like John Petrucci at his best. You get all the melody, you get all the shred, and you get all the wonk. Just some really weird stuff, you know. I'm drawing a blank what the hell song it is, but I mean, he even had the one that, you know, they played it backwards for the record, and they had to learn how to play it backwards to play it live. Is it Misunderstood or God, what the hell? One of you guys in the chat, tell me which song it is, because I'm drawing a blank as to which one it is on the first side of the record. But the ones that stand out for me, obviously, you got to go Glass Prison. You have to. And I'm sorry, it's one of my top favorite Dream Theater songs ever, but the solo is ungodly great. The Great Debate. And my favorite Dream Theater solo ever. Aaron Taft talked about it earlier, so I couldn't talk about it, so I didn't spoil it. The Test That Stumped Them All. I just absolutely love that guitar solo. I'm a huge fan of the stuff where there's a complete left turn key change, and that's one of those. And when he goes, I just, the way he grabs that note is like, oh man. And that is bonerific, man. So, by the way, thank you very much, Kale. He said, yes, it's Misunderstood. Played it, reversed it, learned it reversed, played it, reversed that, and then repeat the process once more. Chastity Crawley says it's Misunderstood. Thank you, guys. So you guys are awesome, man. Always bailing us out on this stuff. Thank you. But yeah, to me, 6 Degrees, like whatever style of John Petrucci you like, you can find it on 6 Degrees. And I think that's why it stands out for me. Because like, oh, I want to hear, you know, some mellow John Petrucci. Well, let's go to side 2, you know, or let's go to Blind Faith, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, and again, like, you know, there's a bunch of wonky stuff. There's a bunch of shred stuff. Like any type of guitar solo you like by John Petrucci, all you got to do is go through this album. You're going to have some of it. So I think it is the most diverse album in terms of solos that he has done. Also, you know, it doesn't hurt that I love the production. I think the sound of the guitar is absolutely fucking gigantic. Yeah. Okay, so Doug says, I'm going to have to re-listen to that, John, because I don't recall that solo in my head at all. Doug, that's cool, man. For me, like I say, it hit me the very first time I ever heard it, and it has always stuck with me. I used it in our very first audio intro to the show for the audio episodes. I used that in the intro to the show because I was just like, man, I gotta do it, because I just love the way he grabs that note. That it's just fat, and oof, you can just hear him just grabbing the note with a couple fingers and bending it up hard, man. Like I love it so much, and it's just an awesome record. And there's just this, there's a confidence and a swagger to the guitar playing on this album. You could tell that they were coming off of a record that you could just tell where he was. They were so amped up by the success they had with Scenes, you know, because they were like, you know, fuck the record company, we're doing this our way, piss off. If it fails, then go ahead and dump us, and we're done as a band. If it succeeds, then you need to get the fuck out of our way after that. And obviously it was a massive success. Really made Dream Theater what they are, let's be honest. You know, that's the record that, you know, they made the mold. And you could really hear, you know, this, now we get to do what we want to do, so we're going to do all of it. And I just love that about 6 Degrees. I'm such a big fan of that album, man. So yeah, my number 1 is 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. So yeah. So final thoughts on John Petrucci guitar solos and how difficult it was to rank this stuff, Brian.
Yeah, man. As always, you start out thinking, oh, it's going to be this. And then you get in there. It's like, no, well, it's this. No, it's this. You know, so,
right.
I think we're going to have to go back. Everyone go back. And this is a shameless plug for us, right? Go back and listen to our favorite Petrucci guitar solo moments and see what we come up with. See what all was on there. I don't think that was strictly solo. That was based on riffs too. But yeah, man, again, it's a subjective exercise. It's all, everyone else's wrong opinions except for my facts. But that's fine too.
Nice.
So yeah, I was a little bit shocked on yours. But I don't think that I thought you would have 6 degrees, number one. But then again, thinking about it, I was actually surprised you had images and words that high. I thought you'd be like, I don't want to put it that high. It's just,
I tried not to, but it's like, how can you not?
Yeah. It's kind of hard not to. So.
It's one of those things, like, dude, like, even though it's cliche, some things are so goddamn good that you just can't. You
Right.
have to put, like, I would compare it to something like Moving Pictures. For Rush, like Rush fans, I would say most of them, and correct me if I'm wrong here, are like, yeah, you got to go with Moving Pictures, dude.
Yeah.
And people new to the band, like, oh man, Moving Pictures. And even though you want to fight against it and fight against it and fight against it, no, man, like, whatever, like, you can't. It's just so undeniable. And Images and Words is one of those albums, man.
That might be another episode, other than Images and Words. So, like, I'm trying to think of like 10 albums where like the solo starts and you know it note for note. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sit and think of it right here, but once the song goes, you're going to be humming it exactly along. I mean, Moving Pictures for sure would be one for me. Something like probably Pyromania. I mean,
yeah,
those are kind of obvious. I'm sure you'd have maybe every Van Halen one for you. I don't know, but
oh God, don't get me started on that. We'll be here. This will be longer than 2 fan parties.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just the idea that these guys they're amazing players, but to them, it's all about the song, the presentation, and what works the most. I don't think there's any egos in this band, which is, well, maybe one, but there's no like, there's no like, oh, I've got to be front and center, or I'm going to come up with something better. It's always like, well, what is the best thing for the song? And they're all just ridiculous. But I mean, you made that comment about Petrucci. It's like, yeah, he's that amazing, but also remember, like, we weren't that good. It's like, yeah, but we didn't have the discipline either. I mean, he had the discipline of, they took that entire PA and all the drums and guitars and bass down to those practice rooms at Berkeley and tore it all down and went down there every single night for what they said 2 years or whatever it was. And like
at
basically
Berkeley.
never missed a practice. And I'm not saying that's why they're great, but it definitely helps, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, it shows that dedication to it.
Yeah, the dedication and drive and sort of like, look, this is what I'm put on this earth to do. And thank God they kept at it, because if they hadn't kept at it, we wouldn't have this show. We wouldn't have had all those incredible albums.
100%, dude.
So thank you, Mr. Petrucci. Thank you.
Right. So get to the chat here real quick before I give my final thoughts. Doug McCauley says, you both had shocking dumpster picks, but you pretty much redeemed by the end of everything. He says, I guess I'll fill in the graves I dug.
Nice.
So Aaron Taft says, what I love about Mr. Petrucci is that he is more than shredding. He's emotional and melodic. Yeah, and I think that speaks to your comment, Brian, about the fact that he does. There's just that sense of melody and the feel and all that kind of stuff. Sadist Nation says it's the writing that's what's so important about John Petrucci. Dude can write better than most. That's what makes him so amazing. Yeah, it's not it's not a shred fest. There's so much more to it. And as Brian said, it's so, phrase, it's so much more than a shred fest. There's so many different styles to it, and I think I just love that, like you had mentioned, Brian, like, he plays to the song and there's not an ego to it, like, and I think the perfect example of that, I would say, is an album like Train of Thought, because I like we said, both of us had in I think I had it in the bottom 5, I think you had it in the bottom 4. And it's not because it's bad or he played bad solos, but it's like the thing is just nothing but just dripping with super slam and heavy guitar. And yet, when you go back and listen to it, a lot of the solos are more keyboard solos than guitar solos, which is him kind of stepping aside going, I know that I'm kind of this is my record to be the guitar guy, but let's bring Jordan into this. Hey man, come on, let's feature you. And I think there's a lot of examples of that throughout the catalog, and it speaks to, again, the lack of ego and also understanding, what the song requires, as you said. And it all works together so well, but when he does need to go off, he does it. I think the best word to use for him, no matter what style he's doing, like the shred or the mellow or the wonky or the anything, is he is one of the most, if not the most tasteful guitar players you could ever mention. Like, he plays exactly what is needed. He's not going over top of Out of Reach and doing some monster shred fest with arpeggio. He's not doing a, Yngwie Malmsteen or something. He's not going over top of, in the presence of enemies and doing like just a volume swell, slow volume swell, stuff like that. Like, he is playing exactly what should be there. And it's just beautiful, man. He's just such a fantastic player. And my final thoughts on this, I think those are them. It just reminds you when you go through an exercise like this, what an unbelievably phenomenal fucking guitar player he is. And also how much unbelievably great stuff he's put out that you forget about, because he just keeps adding to the pile. It's like, when you really go back and listen to 16, you think 16 records, that's a lot of records. Like, yeah. But when you go back and think about like how many great solos are on each of those albums, you're like, holy shit. I mean, how many guitar players, even the great ones, can you say, oh man, we probably forgot about 50 or 60 of their greatest guitar solos, And I kind of felt like that when I was listening back to their catalog to do this. So,
well, it wasn't part of the exercise for this, but we already got to see him live, with the solo album. Yep. And we did the combine the best or whatever we did. I forgot what the episode was, but I mean, that solo album today, like that, I mean, there's so much melody and it's structured like almost like it has vocals on it, to some degree. Yeah. It doesn't sound like there's tons of great shred guitar solo albums out there, but none that, it's very rare to get them to where they're that lyrical, thematic. The guitar can basically almost write itself as a vocal line, and I'm still impressed by that. I thought the first album was pretty good, the solo album, but the second one took it to a whole nother level. We saw it live, and it translates live too, which, yeah. And we're not just saying that because we're Petrucci fans, because I would have been like, if I thought that second album sucked, I thought the first album again, I thought it was cool. I wouldn't sit there and say I totally loved it or listened to it all the time. I appreciated it more after the second one, but the second one, I'm like, God, this is so damn good, man. I mean, this is just fun rocking music to listen to and see someone play live. I mean, it just begged to be play live, and you think like, how does he have the creative capacity to pour all that in there and then still come up with, oh, I got stuff left over for Parasomnia? It's like, how?
Yeah,
I don't know, but it's there. It's endless.
Well, I think, and we'll close up shop after this, but dude, I think you used the absolute perfect word a minute ago. You said lyrical. And I think that's where it comes from. Like, it's, he has a sense of melody that not a lot of guitar players have. A lot of guitar players can write with melody and, they've got a sense of it, but they just keep coming. They're like choruses in and of themselves a lot of times. And it almost is like coming from a perspective of a singer. And you don't see that a lot. Even the ones that are really good at melody, you just don't see it. Like, you could tell their guitar player, like, a lot of his things sound like somebody who knows how to write vocal parts, but he can't sing, so I'll just play it on guitar, which is just so unbelievably cool, man. So, yeah, dude, awesome exercise, man. This was a total blast. We have to send out huge thanks to Johan Alexanderson for sending us the show topic. Just great fun, man. This is awesome. So if any of you guys have a show topic you want us to try, shoot us an email at talkingintoinfinity@gmail.com, or you can send us a Facebook Messenger message on our Facebook page. We'll try and throw that in for you if we can get a full episode out of it. And one more time, guys, speaking of our Facebook page, please go to our page and click the link for Jean-Philippe Lavoie's Relay for Cancer benefit page. He is running the race up there in Quebec City, up in Canada. Our brothers to the north. Love you, Doug. And guys, donate something to him. He is running for just an absolutely fantastic cause. As I said at the beginning of the show, cancer is extremely personal to me. Like I said, I've had many family members pass from it. My amazing Wayne boy, our dog, passed last year from lymphoma. Currently, one of my dogs is dealing with cancer. I think you guys know that. So yeah, guys, anything you can donate would help. And you know, his goal was $400, which is so small, and he already hit it. I think he's at 420. Not gonna lie, I'd like to get him to 1,000. So let's see what we can do. Let's, you know, bump him up there, man. So go check that out on our Facebook page and help out Jean-Philippe. So till next time, guys, we will be right back here at all these locations on Thursday, March 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Got to thank all you guys in the chat. As always, you guys are fantastic. Obviously, Kale and Doug. Man, oh man. Can't believe my buddy Jonah chimed in. That was awesome. Aaron Taft. Got a shout out. Sadist Nation, of course. You guys are just absolutely fantastic. And real quick before we go, because Lord knows when it is going to happen, but guys, raise up all your best, most wonderful thoughts for our amazing friend, Chastity Crawley. She is 3 weeks from her little kid. I believe it's a daughter, Chaz. I always forget if it's a boy or girl. I believe it's a daughter. But Chaz is about to have her baby, Chastity Crawley, in 3 weeks. She's going to be induced anytime, technically. So by the time we're on next, Chaz may not be here because she is going to officially be a mama. So baby girl, she said. Yeah, so thank you. Yes, so all love to Chastity and her family, and every single bit of best wishes for a happy, healthy, very safe birth for all you guys, Chaz. So much love. And Brian, any last thoughts before we jump out of here?
No, man. Again, happy 50. Welcome to the Half Century Club. So
thank you, sir.
It gets a lot. I would lie and say it gets a lot better, but it goes downhill quick. Just hang on for the ride.
Will do, man. I'll be along for the ride. See what I did there?
That's right.
Yeah, awesome. All right, guys. Well, we love you. Thank you so much. And once again, we will be back here on Thursday, March 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And as always, guys, Carpe Diem.